Today on Community Watch, we'll be talking with the founder of Rome Pride and the president of the organization PFLAG. It's a show you really need to watch. A lot of great information, and Community Watch starts now. Welcome to Community Watch. Greg, how are you?
I'm fine, brother. And yourself?
I am fine. You know, I like the looks of your office. It is it is an impressive thing. You need to invite me over sometime and check it out. I think it looks great. You doing all right?
I'll show you how to get one. I'm doing
I would
fine.
love one. I am having to borrow a space today, which is more and more the case. But you doing all right today?
I am, and I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Well, we are very fortunate to have with us today members and officers and founders of Rome Pride and PFLAG. We're going to find out a lot more about those. So let me go ahead and welcome Lynn Green and Justin Deal. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hello, thanks for having us.
All right, so Lynn, you are the president of PFLAG and a board member for Rome Pride. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
And Justin, you are the founder of Rome Pride and a board member for PFLAG.
That is correct. Yes.
That's great. That's great. Well, I'm going to start just by asking for some information about these two groups. Tell us a little bit about what they are and what the differences are.
Okay, I'll start with PFLAG, if that's okay, and then I'll let Justin take Pride. PFLAG is a local organization here in Rome. We have been around since October of last year, so about 7 months. And there was previously a PFLAG chapter in Rome 10 or 15 years ago, and it kind of fizzled out over the years. And several people have tried to bring it back, and it just never took. I put out some feelers last year and got a lot of support and a lot of interest. So it has grown exponentially, but we are part of the PFLAG National Organization, which is a group for the LGBTQ community and their family and friends and allies. We provide support and education and advocacy to all of those individuals. And currently in Rome, we are offering monthly support meetings. Right now, those are for ages 18 and up, but we're hoping to very soon add a teen group. And in those groups, we just, we share our experiences and help each other based on what we've been through. And we really just work to raise awareness in the communities as well. And I came to PFLAG because I have an LGBTQ child, and he is 14. And when he came out, I had absolutely no idea where to turn, no idea what to do, nobody to ask questions of or advice from. And I found PFLAG. And PFLAG, the closest chapter was in Johns Creek. So I went to Johns Creek PFLAG meetings for almost 2 full years and decided that we needed to have some support here in Rome and Northwest Georgia. And that's when I reached out to a few community members, and it has just, like I said, it has grown exponentially since our first conversation last March.
Well, that's great. That tells me a good bit about PFLAG. Justin, tell us about Rome Pride.
Yes. So this is technically what we're calling the inaugural year of Rome Pride, but we have actually done a couple of smaller events before the pandemic. So in 2018, we had a little Pride event on the moonroof at Harvestman Cafe. And then the year after, we expanded and went to River Dog, and we had about 350 or more people show up to that event.
Wow.
And that was with a simple, letting Rome News Tribune know. And the pandemic happened. I know that there was a Pride drag show, I believe in 2021. And I was not in town for that portion. But then once I moved back to Rome in September, Terry Morgan introduced me to Lynn Green and realized that we both really wanted to make Pride special this year. So Rome Pride is all about community, inclusivity, and celebrating diversity. So, your neighbors, your family members, your community leaders, LGBTQ plus people are all around us, and we care about Rome just like everyone else. So we really wanted to make this special for the community and make sure that everyone could participate.
Justin, if you could, can you give some history on Pride itself, the event itself?
Sure. So in the late 60s, you had the Stonewall riots in New York City, which kind of was battling, among other things, police brutality, but it also was a cry to be recognized, right? And just to be treated just like everyone else. And so from that, Pride kind of built up over the decades. And, now it's a huge celebration everywhere. And I think just like, unfortunately, a lot of things in rural Georgia and the Southeast, we kind of get left behind in some of those ways. And so growing up, I realized that Pride was very special and important in if anything, the recognition of it all. But yeah, that history is to celebrate that and to make sure that we have the inclusion and everything that we need in this area as well.
So
So,
Rome Pride is connected primarily to the event.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's the Stonewall riots. All of that happened right at the end of June, and back in the day, and so that's why at the end of every June we celebrate together. And they used to do the bigger Pride events in Atlanta and Chattanooga at the end of June, but they have moved theirs to October, which is actually LGBTQ plus History Month. But June is recognized around the nation as Pride Month due to the Stonewall riots.
Greg,
so
go
Lynn,
ahead.
yeah, so Lynn, I kind of want to switch gears a little bit here before we get much deeper into Pride. So PFLAG, as you was talking, I'm curious, what was your what was your process like as a parent when your child came out? Because I'm quite sure for any parent, that was something you had to adjust to. But I'm wondering, what was the experience like for you and your child here in Rome? How was that received?
We have gone through a lot in the past couple of years. It's been about over 2.5 years now. And so my child came out to me at the age of 12, and I kind of knew I was expecting something, but I did not get what I was expecting. And so I have always, I love my child, and I will do whatever it takes to make sure that my child is happy and healthy. And is a productive member of society. And so I could see that he was starting to withdraw a little bit, and just not feeling real comfortable in school, kind of feeling like an outsider. And so while I had to educate myself, I also had to really keep a close eye on my kid, and make sure that he was doing well, make sure that he had what he needed. And so what really helped us was PFLAG. We met other parents that were going through or had gone through the exact same things. And he met other kids that were in the same, had gone through what he's going through. They talked about how horrible middle school was. And then you add into that the pandemic, and then you add into that being part of the LGBTQ community. You've got a bunch of things that are weighing on our teenagers. So that was, it was just a great support for both of us. Now here in Rome, I know that I'm not the only parent of a trans child, but I couldn't find anybody else. I could not find anybody else. I didn't know where to look. And it's not something that you can just put out on Facebook that you're wanting to, find people. So I reached out again, just through my PFLAG connections, and also through people that I just knew in the community that were part of the LGBTQ community, and asked about starting up this group. I did not have real high hopes for it taking off. However, our first call, we did a Zoom call, and it was March of 2021. And it was just an informational call, just to talk about what PFLAG is and would people be interested in being a part of it here in Rome. And on that first call, we had over 30 people. And those 30 people were made up of all different socioeconomic statuses, different races, different genders, different sexualities. It was a very diverse cross-section of Rome and Floyd County, and it was amazing. A lot of those people are still involved with us today, and I am really excited. Our numbers continue to grow. We have a really big following, and our monthly support meetings are very well attended.
I hear you, but I know me and you've had previous conversations. But I know you was, and if you could speak on this, you had mentioned before that for people to even get adequate health care, there can be a challenge finding doctors and things of that nature. Could you speak to that briefly?
Yeah, sure. So it is a struggle. So I have talked with a lot of both LGBTQ, lesbian, gay, and transgender people here in Rome, and we're a thriving medical community. We've got 2 amazing hospitals. We've got wonderful doctors, wonderful specialists, and I'm finding that a lot of our LGBTQ community members don't feel comfortable with the medical services here in Rome, or don't believe that there are doctors that are willing to treat them here in Rome. And so they either do not seek medical help, either preventative, or if there actually is an issue, they're not seeking that medical help. Or we have, people that are driving to Atlanta, driving to Augusta. My child's doctor is in Decatur. And so finding the medical experts and the medical care where our LGBTQ community members feel comfortable and feel seen and feel understood.
Well, we're coming up on our first break here, so let me reintroduce you. We're talking with Lynn Green and Justin Deal about the PFLAG organization and Rome Pride. And we have a lot more discussion ahead, so don't go away. We'll be back after this.
I know you've had your moments of doubt and struggle, and I'm here to say I'm proud of you.
And although each one of us may take a different path, may we look back upon today as the moment we stepped into a larger world, a greater world,
You will pass this way but once. Do it right.
If ever there was a time to follow your passion and do something that matters to you, now is certainly that time.
Welcome back to Community Watch. We are having a conversation with Lynn Green, who is the president of PFLAG and a board member for Rome Pride, and Justin Deal, who is the founder of Rome Pride and also a board member for PFLAG. And before the break, Lynn, you were talking about all of the support that you had gotten and interest you had gotten for PFLAG as you organized it locally. I'm just wondering if it was all supportive, or did you have any pushback?
I will say it was at least 95% supportive.
That's pretty good. That's
Yes. There are always some people that disagree or are not in favor of what we're doing. But so far, we haven't heard a lot of it. We know it's there, but it's not been very vocal. And for that, I'm grateful, just because with PFLAG, our main goal is support and advocacy for the community and for the families within the LGBTQ community. So we are there to, like I said, support and provide that what they might not get from extended family or from friends or neighbors. And so just really, really amazed at the amount of support that we've gotten.
Well, that's great. I'm encouraged to hear that. I would think, and you could testify to this better than anyone, I guess, but I would think that parents, especially in your position, would be really, they might feel really alone in knowing the best way to handle, a situation like this. So,
yes, absolutely. And that's why our support groups are such a great resource for families that are going through anywhere on the spectrum of, brand new from coming out, or we have participants in our support groups that are grandparents of LGBTQ community members and parents of adult LGBTQ members. And so we have attendees that range in our amount of experiences. And so we are all there to just help each other based on our own lived experiences.
well, that's great. So, Justin, the event in Rome is going to be in June. Did I understand that correctly?
Yes, it will be the last weekend of June, which will be June 24th through the 26th.
And is it going to be at a specific location or multiple locations? How will that play out?
Sure. Yeah. So on Friday, June the 24th, we will be hosting a kind of an opening party. It's also going to be a comedy drag show at the Vogue. And that will start around 7 p.m. Then on Saturday is kind of our festival day. So we have Bridgepoint Plaza and Heritage Park. As we all know, they're connected by the wonderful bridge. And so Bridgepoint Plaza will be Pride Plaza. We're going to have music, drag, and entertainment throughout the entire day. We'll also have a bunch of nonprofit organizations from around town joining us right there at Pride Plaza. And then if you walk across the bridge to Heritage Park, we will have a kids area with a kids DJ who will entertain everyone with hula hoop contests, and he has a slate of things that will be fun. We're going to have over 30 vendors in total, and the vendor market will be at Heritage Park along with some of our favorite local food trucks. And then that evening we'll have some events going on, including the riverboat cruise. So it's going to be a dessert, champagne, and for those people that may not want to go to the late night drag shows, that's something that we wanted to make sure we had multiple events for people to have fun with. And it's all really about just being happy and celebrating together as a community. And then on Sunday, we know that faith is important to a lot of people in Rome, including LGBTQ plus people. So I think we have 3 churches that have stepped up to the plate, and they're going to be offering Pride-related services on Sunday. And so we're just super excited to kind of holistically have all of Rome involved that weekend.
And
Justin, how much are? Go ahead, Doc.
No, you go.
I was going to say, Justin.
One more thing, we have our Pride March on Saturday morning at 11 a.m. We'd love for everyone to join us. It'll start at City Hall and go all the way down to Cosmic Dog.
Now, how much are tickets for these events, Justin?
Well, we wanted to make sure it was accessible. So almost everything is free to attend. The only ticketed events will be the opening show on Friday night and the riverboat cruise on Saturday evening. Everything else is open to the public, and we'll have just watch out on our social media accounts, and we're about to release a new website, and we'll have all of the event details there for everybody.
Now, you said 30 vendors. So what size are y'all anticipating in terms of participants? Because this sounds like a huge event.
Yes, it was really great because I moved back to Rome, and the first thing everyone's asking is like, so when are we doing Pride? And so as we've been building over time, we just started organizing this in January. We knew we had a very limited window. But with the help of Lynn and our 6 other board members working tirelessly every week, we have gone way beyond our original expectations. It was supposed to be a 1-day event, and now we're up to 3 days, and we're expecting anywhere from 500 to 5,000. It's our first year, so it's kind of hard to gauge, but I think definitely at a minimum, we're going to have at least 500 to 1,000 people show up.
That's large.
Well, Greg, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty impressed for a first year event that we're talking about a busy and full weekend of events. So it's not just a single event. It's a jam-packed weekend. This is crazy. I'm
thinking about getting them to organize for us.
I was going to say.
Well, Lynn and I both have experience with events. I worked in catering for years and have done event planning for almost 2 decades. So fortunate to have that skill set. And, we want to give the community what they're asking for. And so that's what we're doing.
Hold up, Justin. 2 decades. Dude, you don't look like you're that old now. But you wear your age well then. But that's impressive, and really congratulations, because I have participated in events. It takes a lot to pull off one event on 1 day. So 3 days, I mean, that's to be commended.
Well, and it really was, like Justin said, we expected it to maybe be a Saturday daytime event. And as more and more people came to us excited about the possibilities, just suggesting, hey, you should do this, you should do this. And some of those ideas just stuck, and we ran with them. And, we set our kind of initial fundraising goal, like we have to make this certain amount of money in order to pull this off. And we blew past that in about a month and a half, about 2 months, which now we have to, because now it's gotten so much bigger. But just the financial support through sponsorships of local businesses and local families has been really amazing.
You know, I hate to keep asking the questions about pushback, but I know that Georgia's a state, the South generally, and our district, you know, have a reputation for maybe not being the most progressive on all issues. What you're saying, though, suggests maybe that's a mischaracterization.
Well, you are correct. And through working with PFLAG and really doing the research on what our area needs, and talking just with the community, and then being part of the community as a family member myself, we are seeing, first of all, the South has the highest percentage of the LGBTQ population in the country.
Really?
We have the highest population, yes. And of the South, Georgia's the second highest after only Florida. So our population here, our LGBTQ population is high, you know, compared to many other states. In addition to that, you know, we're seeing a lot nationally. The Trevor Project, I believe it was, just did a survey, and of 18 to 34-year-olds, almost 30% of them identify as somewhere within the LGBTQ spectrum. And now that involves a lot of different options, you know, that is, or different categories. And so it's, you know, just to know that 30% of our young adults identify as LGBTQ is just amazing. And so we're finding more and more that our neighbors may have a family member that is gay or is transgender. And they've never really said anything about it because it hasn't been accepted around here. But what we with PFLAG are really encouraging is to just have families come out and say, I'm the proud parent of a trans child. Because since I've said that, I have had numerous parents and grandparents and cousins say, oh my gosh, I have a cousin that's you know, LGBTQ, and we've never talked about it. And so you find more and more, everybody knows somebody and loves somebody that is LGBTQ. We just need to talk about it and get it out in the open.
That sounds like a slogan to me. You ought to use that. That's great.
I'll trademark it.
Well, we only have a few minutes left. I want to make sure that individuals who are interested either in attending a meeting or finding out more, where do they go? Is there a website or a Facebook page, or how do they reach out?
Yes, so for PFLAG, we have a website, and that is pflagromega.org. We also have a Facebook page that is PFLAG Rome, Georgia chapter. And I'll let Justin talk about Pride.
All right.
Yes, so for Rome Pride, we are releasing a new website this week. So the best place to find us and to get all of the updates is our Facebook page, which is Rome Pride. You can also just look up Rome, Georgia Pride 2022. And we're also on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Just Rome GA Pride is the handle.
Well, we are totally out of time. That happened quickly. But I want to thank you both so much for being with us and for putting these together. We'd love to have you back again and talk more about your progress. So thank you. And thank you all for watching us this week on Community Watch. We'll see you next time.